Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Quarantine Livestream with your host, BiggestRayRay. It's a beautiful day in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I'm excited to be alive. Today is Tuesday, one of my favorite days of the week. I talk about it all the time. It's Taco Tuesday. But for me today, I'm not making tacos. I've actually pulled out a rack of ribs from the deep freeze. I'm going to be making some ribs tonight. I'm excited for that. And I'm always excited about food. I'm excited to talk to you guys today. I put in the community tab yesterday that I was going to be bringing a special guest on board with me. His name is Brian Skillen, but we all know him as Lucky. He's a fantastic guy. And if you notice, there's a thing in the corner that says powered by StreamYard. So I'm utilizing some new software today. I'm excited for that. And really, it's cool to use new stuff, but I get to bring friends online with me to conversate with you guys. So I'm super excited for that. Also in the background is a buddy of mine named Chris. He showed up in a couple of my YouTube videos. We worked on a ton of video projects together. He's going to be managing comments today, doing some shares, and just engaging with you guys socially. So, I mean, the whole point of this conversation we're having every day is to bridge the gap, those who don't have anyone to socialize with otherwise while we're engaging in social distancing activities. We just want to create a place where folks can talk and have a conversation and just have a good time in the midst of this ugly, ugly pandemic that we're all dealing with. So anyway, guys, I'm just going to dive right in. I'm going to bring Lucky on board. Let's see if I can hit the right button and have him join us here. Let's see if technology is our friend today.
Oh, hey.
Oh, looks good on my end.
Yeah, it looks good on my end.
How's it going, buddy?
Good, Ray. How you doing?
Outstanding. I am great, man. You know, I say this every day. It's the best day ever.
Absolutely.
Because why not, right?
Totally.
No, you're good, man.
I once knew a guy who said whenever you asked him how today was, he always said it's the best day of my life. And right. I always remember that. It always sticks with me. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So I love what you're doing here on the show, bringing people together. So thank you so much for having me be a part of that. It's really great to be here with you today.
Oh, awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining. And we just talked about this before we launched the live stream. I got to tell everybody here too, and you're probably going to get sick of hearing this, man. And I'm sorry, but I tell everybody, it's like Lucky has the most infectious smile. You can't be around this guy and not just feel good about life. So one of the most positive people I've ever met, and that fuels my positivity because sometimes I run out. I'm human. So hopefully you guys will see that too, and we'll enjoy having Lucky on the show with us, man.
Well, I'm just super stoked to be here with you guys. You've been just very gracious and just super excited to share.
So, man, well, I appreciate that. So the folks on my channel, they don't know you yet. So give us just a quick rundown of who you are, what you've done as far as your career in film, book writing, and everything else. Just give us a quick synopsis of what you do, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the entertainment industry since I was 15. So that's almost, what is that, like 24 years. I started dancing at the age of 15. By 18, I was teaching nationally. By 22, I was teaching internationally. And I performed on screen and stage, did shows in New York, and then also taught a lot of celebrities how to dance as well. So when I was 15, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. So before I started dancing, I weighed about 225 pounds, which for a guy that was only about 4'9", 5 foot tall was a lot. And I was heading down a bad track, and then I just found dance, and it turned my life around. Within 6 to 9 months, I'd lost about 60 pounds. And it just so it became, at that moment, my goal in life was to share dance with as many people as possible. So that's why I decided to share it around the world. Currently, I tour for about 6 to 9 months out of the year, teaching and performing. This also led me into my film career. So in 2008, I noticed that a lot of the elders in my community were, getting up there. My teacher at the time was like 94 years old. His name was Frankie Manny. He was the guy that invented the first air step, which is where you throw a woman in the air. He invented that, which is kind of cool. Yeah. And so I wanted to document just these people for future generations and talk about infectious smile. You think my smile's good? Oh, you should have seen him. He just lit up a room every time he went in there. He was just like an ambassador of light. And so that documentary was called Where We Danced. and it's a 3-part series and screened at Lincoln Center. Knew nothing about filmmaking, but just felt I had to do something. So I did it, and that led into a film career. And just recently, on 2017, on tour, I walked the Camino de Santiago, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's a pilgrimage across the north of Spain. So you can walk from many different places in Europe to Santiago de Compostela. And it's been around since the Middle Ages. And as I was walking, I got to this town named Casajeres, and the Arc of San Antonio was before, and I saw this and I was like, oh my God, somebody's got to write a book about this. And little did I know that somebody was going to be me, right? But that night, as I got into town, I was talking to a hospitalero, which is kind of like the guest master for a house. And I noticed the Knights Templar seal on their stamp. And I said, oh, that's Knights Templar. And he said, oh, what do you know about the Knights Templar? And we got into about an hour-long conversation about it. And at the end, he said, you know, there's a secret code of the Templars on the Camino de Santiago. And I'll tell you what, after I heard that, my mind was just like reeling. The next morning I woke up, my backpack was too heavy for my back. So I took my dance shoes out because I was on tour, right? And I left them there and I said, I'll trade these in for a story. And every day like that, this novel played like a movie in my head. The people I met, the things I saw, the places I went, all came together into this perfect narrative. And I ended up, as I walked, I would dictate and wrote it. And then when I was done with the Camino, I wrote this book in about 4 months. It was over 100,000 words.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and I've been editing for about, since then, so like over 2 years. And we're getting ready to launch on April 8th. Now, I always say, God has a sense of humor, right? So when I was young, he made me overweight and I became a dancer. And I also, right, I never expected that. And also with that, he made me I am mildly dyslexic, and I had learning disabilities. So when I was when I was in high school, I still had a 3rd grade reading and spelling level. So writing to me was like writing a novel was like, what, you're joking, right? I'm what? But like with each step I took, I came one step closer, and now we're just kind of in the final phase. I had a lot of people helping me along the way, and it's just been a great journey so far. It's been wonderful.
Wow, that's a great story, dude. I love that. I love a good story like that, because we all have struggles, all of us do. And I've talked about that. I mean, I've opened up about some of mine. I never thought somebody like me, and I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, but I've battled with depression in my life. And I learned about it when I was, just last year, right? 38 years old. And I thought, no, I'm strong. I'm this big, tough guy, raw. And I realized I needed help. I needed some way to turn this around. And this isn't translate the same way, but it's like, dude, we all have struggles, and we can all completely dominate those and do just wonderful, fantastic things.
Totally. And you know what I love? I love that. Hi.
Hi, Dawn. I want to say hi to everybody.
Oh,
so so lucky this is your first while here. Dawn just love to pop in at random and just be hi. So she'll get a ton of highs here in the comments, I'm sure. And she loves to say hi back. So
I love your dress, Dawn. Or is it a dress or a shirt?
Can you hear?
Well, no, I couldn't.
Okay, she's saying it's a shirt.
Oh, very cool. Well, your shirt is very beautiful. You look gorgeous. You're welcome.
She said, okay, good deal. You could hear there. Here, I'll move the microphone over just a little bit so that maybe we can pick up her audio there. Here, why don't we do this, kiddo? Here, come here. Have a seat. So me and Lucky are going to talk for a little bit, baby. She can hang out, but we got to be quiet, okay?
Yes, Daddy.
Thank you, love bug.
Oh, I'm so happy you joined us today. You're so great to have here.
Yay. That makes noise when you do that, baby, okay? All right, so just look at the camera, look at the green dot and smile, okay? Can you do that? So tell me, Lucky, how long did you get to spend in Spain? You said it was the walk had a name there. On your journey, I'll call it for lack of better words. How long were you there?
Yeah, so I'll get to that in just 1 second. I want to piggyback on what you said before. So the funny thing that I've learned is that sometimes our greatest challenges turn into our greatest rewards, right?
Absolutely.
So with me, like being dyslexic when I was young, it sucked for school, but it was amazing for dancing because I could see whatever anybody was doing and turn it around backwards in my head. So what seemed like a disability with one thing, I somehow just had this ability to flip and copy whatever anybody was doing. So I progressed incredibly quickly with dance, which was
your superpower.
Cool. It was my superpower. So what my kryptonite was my superpower. And then also with that as well, you know, being dyslexic, it encouraged me to ask for help, right? And be humble, and be able to ask for help with things. And so that's helped me greatly as an entrepreneur in my life. And just like knowing that it's okay to get help from other people, and knowing that you'll get past it and you can achieve anything, you know? And so what seemed like a terrible thing at the time turned into a really great thing later.
Right, dude, that's awesome. I love that.
Thanks, bro.
And so I got to tell, I don't know if you know, I don't think you've met my wife yet. I mean, we've hung out a few times since I met you back in January, but she also struggles with dyslexia.
Okay.
And she has a pretty severe case of that, but she now works in the mental health care field.
Yeah.
So she manages a staff, and she has a group of folks that she helps out. So very, very different stories overall, but she was able to overcome the challenges. And where she has a challenge of her own, I mean, it helps her work with the community where she helps in the mental health field, because like, well, I have this, I've dealt with it. And she's able to help others in a way that many others aren't able to because of her struggles.
Absolutely. Right? And I was just going to say, for everybody out there who's struggling with something, look for the reverse of it. You know, look about how like this can change your life. This can change other people's life. Your experience going through something like, Ray, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to you because you had depression, especially during a time like this. You know, there's so many people that can learn from the wisdom that you gain from that and the way that you were able to get past it. So I encourage it, like all the listeners out there, to just really, you know, examine what they think their weaknesses are and see how powerful that it can actually be when turned to something different.
No, absolutely, man. And that's something I'm still learning and whatnot. What little things can I change? And of course, it required help. The biggest challenge for me is, one, admitting I had a problem. And then two, understanding, you know, big, strong guy who always have that manly thing. No, I need to take this on my own. It's like, man, I had to break down and understand that I needed help.
Yeah, and we all do.
I got beyond that obstacle, man. And then it's okay to cry. You know, that's something I still struggle with, because I don't like to cry. That's not my thing at all. It feels weird. My face gets wet. My mascara runs, and nobody wants to see that. Good gosh.
Do you want to know my favorite verse in the Bible?
What's that?
Jesus wept.
Jesus wept.
It makes it okay for every person out there to grieve. It's part of, you know, it's just part of our existence being here, and it's okay, you know, to do that.
No, absolutely. That's great reference, man.
Thanks, bro. So anyway, so sorry, I got sidetracked. You asked me about the Camino. So that first hike I hiked for 20 days. And since then, I've gone back 2 other times, and I've walked over 1,000 miles doing research for this.
Wow.
Yeah, 1,000 miles. The last one was 500 straight. Me and my wife went at the tail end of our honeymoon, and it's like a scavenger hunt, finding all these secret codes inside the cathedrals, you know. And we hiked from France all the way to past Santiago de Compostela to a place called Finisterre, which was actually considered the end of the world. And for a long time, it was considered the end of the world. So we walked that plus 500 miles, which was incredible, doing research for the book. And also, as a special thing for our Kickstarter supporters, we took a video every day that we traveled. So for 33 days, however long it was, we took a video each day that we're going to share on our Kickstarter just for you guys. So you can really experience what it is to walk the Camino. My hope and my goal with this book is to inspire the adventure of a lifetime for people that read it, whether they take that adventure from their armchair or actually are inspired to go walk the Camino and see the things that I talk about. I hope this just like wakes up a fire inside people that just ignites them and has them take that pilgrimage.
Right. No, that's fantastic, man. No, I'm inspired. Like, I'm not much of a hiker or a walker. I travel a lot, but it's mostly by plane. And when I get where I'm going, I get a rental car.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe it's I've been working to lose weight and whatnot, change the diet, and in the gym I've lost a ton of weight. I mean, so you know about that.
Absolutely. And congratulations to you.
It's
great.
Man.
It's great.
And but man, maybe that's something to shoot for at some point in my life. Because one, I'd love to go to Spain.
Yeah.
And then to have something like that planned to go see, even if I don't make a full 500 miles.
Yeah.
Just to go see some of that, I think would be very cool and inspirational. And on a nerd note, Have you ever played? Oh my gosh, Assassin's Creed. You knew where I was going with that.
The church in Assassin's Creed is the Camino de the cathedral inside Santiago de Compostela. So that's the end of the pilgrimage. And then also the Knights Templar are the bad guys in there. In my book, they're the good guys. Let me tell you a little bit about the Templars. I don't know if your audience knows any history about them or not, but essentially, I'll kind of start in the beginning. So back in the day during the Crusades, I think there was 9 knights. I don't have my notes in front of me, but I believe it was 9 knights went to Jerusalem. And for several years, they dug under Solomon's temple until one day they found something. And whatever they found, they took to the Pope. And the Pope gave him a carte blanche to travel through any political boundaries they wanted to. They didn't have to pay taxes, and they only answered to the Pope himself. So they were free to do whatever. And some people speculate that this treasure was the Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail. You know, there's so many, like, this is where all that lineage begins, right?
Right.
And but so they turned into this like very wealthy organization. They also became the first bankers. So if you wanted to do a pilgrimage, what you do, you go to your local Templar commandery, you give them your gold, and they'd give you something called a credential, which was a coded piece of paper. And you would take your pilgrimage, you get to the Holy Land or to Santiago or to Rome, and you would trade it in there, and they'd give you back your gold. Now, at the time, it was illegal to charge interest. So what they did was charge rental fee for holding your for holding onto your gold. So they became they became super wealthy, and a lot of the monarchy became indebted to them, including King Philip of France. And in my book, it takes place in the year 1306, which was 1 year before the Knights Templar were rounded up and disappeared or arrested and by King Philip of France. So in the book, he's plotting with the Pope to round up and execute the Templars, while his daughter takes a fictitious pilgrimage on the Camino de Santiago. And so that's kind of like the main thing in the book. Also, like a pilgrimage is about a spiritual adventure. And so as you go, there's these different spiritual lessons that you learn, which are based off of things that I learned through walking the Camino that were just kind of inspired to me that I wanted to share with people.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So we've talked about the book a little bit, and I got to say this, and I'm hoping that it shows up in the description already on the live stream today. Again, I'm using software on my own for the first time, StreamYard, not a paid endorsement. My buddy Chris, who's managing the comments right now, turned me onto it less than a week ago. So I tried to plug in all this information. I put some social media links in the description to the Instagram, the Facebook page, and even the Kickstarter page. So if folks are interested in that, they should already be able to go and click now and find those. If not, once this live stream gets posted for replay, they can absolutely visit then and get some information and all that. So it's great to hear and talk about it, but I'm sure you're going to invoke some curiosity, and people are going to want to learn some more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the name for the book, I haven't even told you the name yet.
Oh yeah, tell me the name. I love it. So tell us about that a little bit. Yeah,
so this is pretty cool. So the name of the book is called The Way Through a Field of Stars. Now, this pilgrimage, the Camino de Santiago, is often referred to as the Way or the Way of St. James. And through a field of stars, there's an old saying, an old pilgrim saying that says, for every pilgrim who walks the Camino de Santiago, there's a star in the Milky Way. So it's like the way through a field of stars is like the way of St. James. And in this case, the field of the stars is all the pilgrims that our heroes meet on the way. So that's the field of stars that they're kind of walking through. So it's a very deep meaning behind the name. And it's super cool. Like, I love it.
No, that is cool. I like that. And so I'm going to take a detour on you, Lucky.
Sure.
And I just thought about this the other day when we were talking.
Yeah.
The subject of tapas came up.
Oh yeah.
And something we talk about almost every day on this quarantine live stream is about food, what I'm going to have for dinner, what we like to eat, and other people chime in from around the world, the kind of cheese or whatever they have. But I love tapas. I love paella. I love food from Spain. Tell us a little bit about your experiences and the things that you found over there.
Okay, so when you walk the Camino, you have to go to a place called Logroño. Here, they are the most famous place in the north of Spain for tapas. And they are so good. Up there, they call them pinchos. So they're called pinchos. And every day, kind of around, after siesta time, there's several, like 3 or 4 blocks that are like these old medieval alleyways that you go down, and they're just packed with restaurants on either side. And the restaurants have windows they open up, and they put out all the tapas. So you can just go from one restaurant to the next, get your prosciutto, get your tortilla, get your popo, your octopus, like whatever, as you go. And they are beautiful. Like, they're not only tasty, but they look like works of art. So it's like going to an art gallery for food. Essentially, right? When you walk down there. And the food is so good. And they also, one of my staples, one of my favorite is called a tortilla, which it's not like a tortilla here. It's an egg omelet. So they put a whole bunch of eggs into a frying pan and put, some potatoes in there and sometimes some meat, whatever. But for me, usually what I do is I start walking on the Camino before the sun rises. So I walk under the full moon or in the stars, and then you watch the sunrise. And then you get to the first or second bar, you get a cup of espresso, like the best, so good. Oh, and then you ask for a tortilla, and it's so, your body is just already hungry because you've worked. And then you take this tortilla, and it's so good, and I love it. It's wonderful. And actually, I talk about food in the book as well. Because for all my foodies out there, I talk about like ham, like eating fresh ham and and soup, and just there's other things.
Oh man, one thing I've always enjoyed about tapas, if you go to a proper place to get it, it's beautiful. I like the small plates. I like the idea of sharing. It invokes community. But eating, and I haven't really talked about this a lot, it invokes all 5 senses simultaneously.
Totally.
It looks good, smells good, tastes good. It feels good. We like the texture and everything. So all 5 in a bite.
Totally.
And you get to do it over and over until it's gone. And this is probably why I'm not skinny, because really, I'm like, I need all these 5 senses now just to be like, and I nom. And
totally
it's special to me about, and it is really just like real. Now I really want to go to Spain, and I want to dive into some of that.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you what, when you get to the coast, like the seafood, oh man, it's incredible. And like one of the biggest things that they're famous for in Santiago is popo, which is octopus. And so like, I don't personally eat it myself, but everybody else says that it's incredibly good. Another cool thing about it too is as you're walking the Camino, like depending on what type of year you go, you can pull fresh grapes off the vines as you're going past the vineyards. Some vineyards leave a pilgrim's harvest. There's another place where they have wine on tap. So you're going by and this monastery brews wine, and you can go there and fill up your shell with wine, or you're not supposed to fill up your bottle, but you can take a drink. You can take a drink of this wine. And so for hundreds of years, they've just been giving away free wine to the pilgrims. Then there's also, oh geez, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So then other times of years we found like pomegranates on the tree, figs on the tree, and there's hazelnuts and chestnuts as you're going, and just like so much good bounty that you can just eat off of the earth as you're traveling through as well. And then you also in the hostels, one of my favorite things is the community meals. So as you're traveling, you make kind of what's called Camino families. And every person in the book who's not based off a historic person is based off of somebody that I walked with, right?
Oh,
so
that's super cool.
Yeah, so these people were all like my Camino family when I traveled. And it was my way of taking them with me after my Camino finished, because it was so just powerful and so wonderful to be with these people. And so, yeah, so when you go there with the Camino family, like oftentimes you'll prepare meals together, and people walk from Korea. People travel, like on the Camino, you have people from Korea, Japan, Italy, France, Belgium, Bulgaria, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. So you have all these cultures all walking together on this place, and everybody cooks from their culture. Like when you have these meals. So I had Italians making me pasta, I had French people making me crepes, it was just like, it was awesome.
That is awesome. So we got 2 questions here. Sure. Actually, we have 1 question, 1 comment. Evelyn said her neighbor is from, if I'm saying this right, Asturias, Spain. And she said her cooking is so good. I can imagine it'd be great to have a friend from Spain live next door.
Totally.
And Chris asked if the monk's wine on tap, was it a white wine or a red wine?
It's a red wine.
Red wine. I figure from Spain.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they have both. Well, on this walk, you walk through the Rioja. Like, have you ever heard of Rioja wine? You
Yes.
walk through that region, right? So like there's a whole region, and each little town has their own wines. Like you'll get wines that don't get exported out of France. I mean, sorry, out of Spain, because they're here. And
Right.
we had like some dude, we went shopping one night, and this old shopkeeper went into the back and got the wine that he had made recently and gave it to us, and just people are so kind on the Camino and so loving, and it's awesome. It's really cool.
That's fantastic, man. That sounds amazing, and it sounds like the whole travel is just full of it's more than just a spiritual walk. And forgive me if spiritual is not the right word, but to encounter so many people that are so loving and giving, I mean, that has to be fuel for the rest of your life to take with you when you go home and move on. You always have that experience to fall back on, and for me, that's just fantastic. I absolutely love that.
Everybody who walks it has changed afterwards in some way or another. And before we talked about overcoming challenges, right? I'm going to give you a good story here.
Sure.
So on that pilgrimage in 2017, I actually got pretty ill as I was walking. I didn't know it was wrong, but I had like dysentery going on, and I walked for about 15 days with not being able to keep anything in my body. And the saying before, I had just read South by Sir Ernest Shackleton, and in there they're Arctic explorers and they're shipwrecks and they're on ice, and Sir Ernest Shackleton's like, "Ha ha, 'tis nothing. The men are jolly today." So
right.
like, everything that came up, I was like, "Ha ha, 'tis nothing," right? But then it became too much, and I actually went to one doctor and I got misdiagnosed, and I had to walk. Luckily, I was walking with two nurses, and they helped me get to Santiago, where I eventually went to two hospitals. One I got no help with. The other was a private hospital, and they said, this is going to be very expensive. Make sure that your insurance covers it. And, I'm online with my insurance, and the doctor overhears what I'm saying. And, he said, oh God, I still get choked up with this. Like, here I am. I have no water in my body. When I reached Santiago in the church, I collapsed and I couldn't cry. It hurt to cry because I had no water in my body. I mean, it was hard. And when, this doctor overheard what I was saying, he treated me for free.
Wow.
And he's like, for a pilgrim, and he told me not to tell anybody. So don't tell anybody. I won't tell you what hospital it was or what year it was or what doctor it was. But this is the kindness of the people on the Camino. Here I was, I had nothing. And that's what I love about it. It's a great equalizer for everybody. Like, you have nothing besides what's on your back there. It doesn't matter if you're famous. It doesn't matter, how much money you have, whether you have nothing. I met some people that had absolutely no money when they were walking and just relied on the kindness of people, and it was incredible. And I misjudged one, and I ended up giving him a donation because I thought he was going to steal from me. And then I realized, oh, you're just doing this on faith and walking this on faith alone. And I gave him a secret donation that he'll never know came from me, but it was because I had a misconception about this person. That's one thing from the Camino too. Like, the people who rub you the wrong way are the ones you have the most to learn from, and they'll keep coming back until you learn that lesson. And then all of a sudden they seem to just disappear afterwards. Right. So it's a very I don't know, it's a very transformative thing to do. And I hope my book transforms people as they read it as well, to give them that sort of experience and feel it.
Man, that's a great story, dude. That's incredible. And doctors right now, I'm going to segue just for a minute off of this. With what's going on in the world around us right now, dude, I'm giving every possible shout out I can to anyone in the medical field, dude.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Our doctors, nurses, nurses, aides, LPNs, firefighters, EMTs, the police, and but doctors more specifically, the ones stuck in the hospitals taking care of the COVID patients. Dude, they are literal rock stars and heroes right now. Like, totally. Literal heroes. They're putting themselves out there so much at risk and come back day after day for ridiculously long shifts to help us, with this pandemic. We're asked to stay at home.
Right.
Like, that's the superpowers that we've been handed right now. Stay at home. Don't go to the bar. Don't go to the beach. And that's our contribution. But there are people that are losing sleep, risking themselves and their families to help us.
Totally.
And, to hear, you know, a doctor's story like that, it's like, that's incredible. And
they are heroes.
Individual, but bro, it's straight up heroes, man. I've got so much love and respect for those people, and not to take away from you in your moment right now, but man, the medical community is just.
I'm happy you did. I mean, they need to be celebrated right now. They are our superheroes at the moment, and I'm so thankful for them. So like, big thank you for everybody out there, you know, who's helping during this time. We need it. We need to be a community. We need to pull together. We need these heroes, you know. So thank you for your help.
No, absolutely. And I've got to say this, it broke my heart today. A friend of mine that lives in New Jersey hit me up on Facebook Messenger earlier and said in his local community, a firefighter EMT, 33 years old, succumbed to COVID-19 today. And for me, I was in years gone by, I was a volunteer firefighter and a medic first responder. So I have a huge piece of my heart for that community because of that. But to think somebody 33 years old, healthy individual, still had a losing fight to this virus. And that crushed my heart when I read that. It's like, damn it, man, here's a guy that's doing the right stuff, healthy, young, with a family, wasn't able to battle through the COVID-19 stuff. And that just
did he pass, or
yeah,
he just
he passed away from it. And like I said, that punched me right in the feels, man. Or anybody that succumbs to it, it's very sad. You don't want to hear that. But again, I've got a special place in my heart for my life experiences. You know, that was tough to read. And there's plenty of other cases that it keeps popping up more and more in the news. And so again, that's why I was so willing to just give a shout out to those people, because they are just putting themselves out there for us, the public, complete strangers. They know nothing about us, completely judgment free. They're going to help us no matter what we are, who we are, what we've done. And that's the kind of love, man, that you have to talk about, dude.
Amen. Amen. I agree with you 110%. Yeah, I mean, we talked yesterday. I said I was feeling feverish yesterday. I still am not feeling well today. So, you know, God willing, it's just allergies. But you know, it's just a time to think and reflect. And you know, I feel blessed for the life I've had, and you know, just stay in the positive and do what you can do within the space you have. No,
absolutely. And so just for the public watching this, we both live in Oklahoma. We are in the peak of our pollen and allergen season. The National Weather Service keeps putting alerts out for how much pollen we have in the air. So
that's good to know.
It makes it difficult.
This is my first time here.
Right?
I've only lived here a few months, so yeah.
It's different, but even what little I do go in public, if I sneeze for my allergies, everyone looks at me like I'm just a criminal. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. The cottonwood trees kill my allergies. I'm sorry.
Right.
So even with a face mask on, I got a face mask, and kudos to everybody making face masks at home right now and giving them out for free.
Totally.
That's how I got the one I have. My wife and daughter have one as well.
Good.
But still, it's tough. Just normal everyday stuff now. We're all just so worried about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing of it as well, I mean, the way I'm kind of looking at this time in life is it's a time out. You know, it's a time to go inside and really think about your life and see where you want it to redirect to next. This can be a huge reset for people. I just talked to, and I'm doing another interview on Friday that we recorded earlier with a DJ friend of mine in London. He started his own radio station. Something he's always wanted to do. He's never had the time to do it. And now he's doing it. You know, he's home. And how, like, the positives of this, like, it's a redirect to come back through. It's a reconnection with your family and the people you love. You know, it's like, I'm stuck here with my wife, and I'm so thankful for her, you know, every day. You know, she's just been a rock star. She's helping me with this book and with this Kickstarter, and like, her love and support has just been phenomenal right now. And shout out to you, Chelsea, if you're watching. I don't know if you are from the other room.
Right.
But,
and
you know, it's just
a pleasure of meeting her a few times. I'll give her. She is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And seriously, and it's just like, well, you are just so nice, and I love that about her. Even you know, we hung out at the press club. I forget if it was for Chris's birthday or his girlfriend Jessica's, but she just came up to me after only meeting me, was like, "Hi, Ray, how you doing? So glad to see you." And I'm like, hey, how are you? And it just made me feel really good about myself that she just came up and said hi.
Totally.
And that speaks a lot to y'all's personalities and just how great people you are. Your positivity is it's wonderful, and it shows. And I appreciate that from you guys. So shout out to you and wifey. Y'all are just good people, man. I'm glad to know you guys.
Thank you. We're glad to know you too, man. You guys, that small press club group has been the highlight of my time being here. So just you guys, like everybody there, that little community has been super awesome. So shout out to the press club. Shout out to our buddy Chris, who's a member of the press club.
Here, let's just surprise him and bring him on right now. He's not ready for that at all.
I'm a comment.
So, are you hearing the lag there?
He sounds like a robot. He sounds like a hip hop robot.
This whole line.
Maybe you put your earbud on there.
Yeah. Is better?
Oh no, it's actually no better at all, my dude.
Well, yeah, for maybe surprise.
So I just muted his mic for him, so Chris can be pretty for a minute. Can only imagine the wonderful things he's saying about us right now. It's I know I saw. So anyway, so sorry about that, Chris. The internet doesn't like us right now. Let's see here.
Make me off completely.
See, Robo Chris is doing that on purpose.
Oh man, no. So sorry, I wasn't trying to embarrass you, Chris. I hope you're not. I had no idea I was going to do that.
Yeah. Can I just say how
he was sitting there shaking his head for a minute? I can still see him in the background of the software here. So my apologies, bro. I didn't know that was going to happen to us. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. And he's still making faces at me like, whatever. It's like,
that's hilarious. But that just goes to show we can still have this fellowship in this time. We're not isolated. It should be social distancing, not isolation.
No, absolutely.
Because we can still be social. Like we can still hang out here. I talk to my family more now than I have in a while.
Right.
It's just So it's important to remember you're not alone. We're here with you.
Absolutely, man. We still have community here, in a sense of community. And I call all my subscribers lucky, the Ray Ray family. And it took me a few months after I got a following to realize how much the people were great, and they love me and my family. It's not just about the videos I make, but I could tell there's a lot of people out there that genuinely are connected to the content, and I love that. And it feels like a family to me in a sense because of the communication. I've had people message me on social media and call and check in. How you doing? Are things okay? Like, you looked really tired in your last video. How's your health? I'm like, wow. I don't know you. I appreciate you, but it's like it hit me in the feels that a stranger from somewhere else, took the time to send a message and just see if I was okay. And it's like, wow, this is a great group of people. So I made the hashtag Ray Ray family, and I absolutely love that. And so it inspires me. I tell you, the folks inspire me. A lot of people say, Ray, we love your positivity. It helps us, but they really don't understand how much they help me. And it's just a beautiful thing, man. And I know they're giving you a warm welcome. I'm seeing comments here. I don't know if you have it up on your screen where you can see that.
Oh, I don't know. Let me see. This is my first live stream ever, so
I
don't know.
It's on the right side of your screen there.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So Lori says, "Hello guys, how are you all holding out in the solitary confinement, going off the wall, going crazy?" So yeah, it's a challenge, no doubt. I mean, I look forward to the daily live stream. This gives me something to look forward to. It keeps me happy. I love it when Dawn just kind of pops in at random. Sometimes wifey gets home from work and she'll just come in the office here. And, that keeps me going. I still have my day job. I'm surprised how busy I am considering the culture, what we do, but still a lot going on, which is great.
Yeah, for us, we've been, because our Kickstarter is on the 8th, April 8th, we've been busting butt trying to get everything ready for the launch. and everything. So I've been busier now in isolation than I was before.
Yeah, but it's good. It gives you the time to focus on it, though. I see the kiddo. She's creeping over my shoulder there.
Did she ever just like climb up your back? Oh,
oh, she does. I am a jungle gym for this kid.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
Yeah. Don. Oh, she's on.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah. Danger, Will Robinson. Oh boy. Oh gosh. I didn't see that coming. So this is the first time she's climbed on my shoulders like this during the stream.
Oh wow.
And so really,
I bet you it's probably not going to be the last.
Oh gosh, she feels comfortable doing this.
Hi, how are you doing, sweetie?
Hi.
Hi. How old are you?
How old are you, Don?
You're 6.
You're 6. Okay.
Wow, that's cool. And what's your favorite food?
Popcorn.
What is it?
Popcorn.
Oh, I love popcorn too, especially at the movies. Oh man, so good. Oh.
This is kind of hard for me to say like this, babe. Let me put you in my lap, okay? Daddy. Come on, ready? Ready? Let me see your armpits. Ready? 1, 2, up. Don't be scared. Lean forward a little bit. Lean forward. Help me up. Don't grab my hand. I can't pick up if you grab my hand. Ready? 1, 2, up. Oh, goodness gracious. So you gotta love YouTube.
There we go.
We were like in a CNN studio. This would be a bad day, but for me, this is fun. This is doesn't get any more true to life than this right here, man. You may as well go with the flow and enjoy it, right? You're
putting out some good content, man. You're putting joy into the world. The world needs more of that, more lights shining, coming together. You know, it's good what you do here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, man. So I see in a comment here, where is Karma? She is currently taking like a 9-hour nap on the king size bed in her master bedroom. She sleeps in there a lot during the day, or there's a couch just over here in my office. She sleeps on that a lot. But she sleeps all day, and when wifey gets home from work, she goes crazy. And about 1 in the morning, she gets the zoomies. So anybody that owns a cat, you know exactly what the zoomies are and the noise that comes with that. So that's
what are zoomies?
So do you have any cats, Lucky? You guys own a cat?
No cats, no animals here right now. So
right on.
One day, we'll see what happens.
There, it's all good, man. I mean, you guys haven't been in Oklahoma that long, so it takes time to get settled in and make arrangements and whatnot for a pet.
Yeah, we haven't been married that long either. We just got married last summer, so
right.
It's still pretty fresh.
Absolutely. So not a thing wrong with that at all, man. So wifey and I, gosh, we've been married. It'll be 11 years in June.
Wow.
And our first 2 homes were 1-bedroom apartments. It wasn't until we bought our first house 8 years ago that we got Zombie. We've had him for a long time now. And
got 2 more pets.
And now we have 2 more dogs on top of that.
Wow.
And Karma Kitty.
Wow. That's awesome. You got a full house. We
do. And then I've had this bear for 6 years.
Daddy.
And yeah, Don, are you a little bear? You're not my sugar bear.
Be a camel belt, Daddy.
She's in karate, and she's about to get her camo belt as soon as the karate gyms open back up. She's going to test.
That's so cool.
Leaving the little kids stage. She's only 6, but she's leaving like the little kids stuff, going into the big kids group. So the camo belt is kind of the gateway for that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I still have to practice my karate today, Daddy.
Yeah, you still got to practice your karate. We'll do that in the living room later, won't we?
Yes, and you still have to find my karate green finger for me to get my camo belt, Daddy.
That's right. Thank you, Don, for helping me remember that.
That's awesome. Whenever
go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say, whenever I'm sick, I always like to watch Kung Fu movies and think about like my white blood cells as little Kung Fu people kicking the butt of whatever disease it is.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
It helps give me a visual to go on there and whatnot. It's hilarious.
No, Don, here, let's not make too much noise here. Let's not play with the dice right now, okay? That comes through the microphone really loud, okay? And so I've seen this in the comments too, Lucky. Where to go? Lori Swanson, we get a lot of doctors to come in where she's at, and they give them free coffee. I love that. Cool. So doing what they can where they're at to help out the doctors there. I appreciate that. And Carmen Clemens was talking about the kerthump her thump around every night at midnight. So I'm assuming that's when her cat gets the zoomies. And it's always fun to see because Karma will just be calm and then just go crazy and run full speed up the stairs, down the stairs, into whatever. And it, admittedly, and I don't want her to miss what she's aiming at, but it's funny when she does. And it's always when I don't have a camera rolling. So it's like, man, that is just a perfect Kodak moment. It would be great video content. But yeah, she likes to jump on things, and sometimes she bails.
What's bails, Daddy?
That means that's like when a person's on a skateboard and they do a trick and they fail and they kind of flop on the ground. So using a term like that for Carver when she tries to jump on something and misses, it kind of does her kitty flop.
So
one time she did that.
Yeah, she did. Here, go ahead, Lucky.
Well, I was going to say, so what are you guys doing to keep busy at home there with the kiddos? Like, what do you got? What sort of activities are you guys doing as parents? Because this is a whole different time for parenting, you know?
Oh, it is. It's a challenge, you know, so I still have a day job, which keeps me very busy. I'm an IT project manager. So I have that. So then with the kiddo, we have turned her on to a lot of educational content on the tablet. Her favorite right now, I think, is abcmouse.com.
Yeah.
And let me talk about that, but you'll ramble on for 2 days. But she's getting a lot of educational content there. I let her play some on the Nintendo Switch, which is fun. But I'm finding new and creative ways to carve time out of my day to play Legos with her. We go outside and draw stuff on the concrete with sidewalk chalk. We let her play with the scooter, you know, weather permitting. We let her just zoom up and down. And something with that even is, you know, 2 or 3 weeks ago when we started this, you know, we let our kids play together in the streets. We thought it was safe, groups smaller than 10. Mm-hmm. And now it's become a challenge. We'll see other parents out with their kids, and they stay within a couple mailboxes of their house.
Yeah.
So there's lines that have been drawn with families on our neighborhood even, and that's made it tough. Mm-hmm. But the kids understand, you know, like, look, you're fighting the coronavirus by not going 2 mailboxes down. And I tell that to Dawn. If no one's out, I let her go 3 mailboxes either way from the house. If somebody else is out, we, you know, tighten the circle up.
Yeah.
But we take her in the backyard, let her play with the dogs, and I try to find little creative stuff for her to do to try to play with. She has tons of Play-Doh, Legos, you know, colors. So we encourage her to use her imagination and just be creative because she has more time to do that. And so it is what it is there, you know, just got to keep the little brains engaged.
Have you guys built a fort sheet yet?
So, you know, we did. So we did. We took 3 chairs from our dining room set and a king-size blanket the other day, and we stretched out a fort. And I used some of the clips that I use for my backdrop rigs and some chip clips because I didn't have enough of the one. And we clipped all this stuff down to the chairs in the living room and built her little fort next to the fireplace. And she loves to crawl in there and hide.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
I know we got to fix it because it fell down, didn't it? At least the blanket kind of collapsed. We got to re-engineer the fort a little bit to make it a little more durable. But yeah, that's part of the fun, right?
Yeah, you do what you can do. I love that. That was one of my favorite things to do as a kid was building forts, you know, and just kind of hiding out in there.
Yeah, oh, not the egg shaker, baby. Yeah. So, but one thing we have a stack of cardboard boxes that we have from our move. And I'm tempted to have her help me build a new fort for Karma Kitty out of cardboard boxes to see what we can construct. Just kind of take some duct tape and a pair of scissors. And
use my scissors, Daddy.
No, your scissors won't go through cardboard box, honey. You got to use adult scissors.
So is Karma Kitty famous? Is that what I heard from one conversation at one point in time?
Karma Kitty is famous. So you've met Corey Williams, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. Corey, but anyway, Corey is a very famous YouTuber and a fantastic guy. But he also lives here in Tulsa. A lot of probably 90% of my audience came to my channel from Corey's recommendation.
Cool.
Karma Kitty was a stray, and she wandered up to his house just about a year and 3 months ago. And one of his biggest channels is called The Mean Kitty. Everybody knows and loves Sparta. That's who the channel is named after. Sparta has, I think, 2 Guinness World Records for number of views online for a cat that's alive.
Wow.
So anyway, this stray cat wandered up to the right house. And so Corey had just lost, sadly, one of his other kitties. So he had passed. And this was not long before Karma walked up, and he just wasn't in a spot really emotionally to take on another cat.
Yeah.
Still, it was winter. He took care of her, brought her in the garage, got her healthy, and he started making videos about this stray cat. So long story short, we're in a Facebook group together of YouTubers, and he reached out and said, hey, does anybody want to adopt a cat? My wife and I at the time, we were looking for a Maine Coon. I really wanted a Maine
Oh, those are cool cats. We had one of those ones.
And so we were already looking, and I saw that come up. But you know what? I saw the Karma videos, and I love the markings on her face. She has this little straight line down her face, and I just love that. I thought it was the cutest thing. I'm like, you know what? Let's have a conversation with Corey and see if she would be a good fit for our family. And it turned out it worked out for our benefit. We took in Karma. She kind of owns our house now. But I gained a huge following. She had probably 1 million views on his channel before I was able to adopt her. And then the loving people in the Ray family wanted to follow her story, so they came over to my channel, and that's where I got to where I'm at today. A lot of great folks just loving a kitty that was a stray, and she went from nothing to a very spoiled animal.
Totally.
Yeah. No, Karma is
she picked the right person.
Yeah. So we love her to death. And I tell you what, the Ray, I had people, again, kudos to my audience, Lucky. I had people ask me if I had an Amazon wish list for pet toys. I didn't even know Amazon had a wish list. You can make a list and show it to somebody like, will you please buy me? Almost like a bridal registry or a baby registry.
Wow.
And people reached out and asked me to make that so they could buy his toys and send them to us for Karma. They were introduced to my dog Zombie through Karma, and I've had people literally from around the globe send our pets toys and treats.
Wow.
People are amazing.
Yeah, such a kind community. But I'll tell you what, like attracts like, so I think that speaks to a testament of who you are as well.
Oh,
for sure. So, I mean, yeah.
So, but I want to circle back to what we talked about here. Sure. Great conversation here. But with the book coming out, I think there's potential for a giveaway here. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're going to do, well, first off, 2 things. If you go to the website right now, www.throughaFieldofstars.com, you can sign up there and learn more about the book. And then we'll also give you a free copy of the prologue. So if you sign up, you can see a free copy of the prologue. And it's kind of cool because the character in there, he is an actual character. He was one of the Knights Templar before the Holy Land went down or, fell. Anyways, it's a whole other story. You can read about it in the back of the book. And then also for your audience for being just so awesome today, we're going to give away a signed copy of the book later this summer after we come out. So you'll get your copy when our Kickstarter fulfillment happens. And so we'll be doing that, donating today, just to say a big thank you for having us on and, spreading the love and sharing it.
That's awesome. So when we talked about that yesterday, I wanted to do a thing to make it fair to give away. And this is pretty boilerplate or standard for YouTube. If you want to get a signed, it's going to be a first edition, right? Signed first edition. Mm-hmm. So give this video a thumbs up. Let me back up. First, be a subscriber. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Give this video a like. Share this video, and in the comments put #lucky, all capital letters. I like that. That'll make it easy. There's a tool that I use for a randomizer to pick out comments and whatnot for a winner. And if you have something easy in there like a #lucky, it'll make it easy to find regardless whatever else you put in the comments, and then it'll make you eligible to win a signed first copy of this book. And
in this first edition, we're only printing what's with the Kickstarter. So there's only going to be, how many ever that Kickstarter reward is. I'm hoping for like 5,000 to 10,000, which would put us in New York Times bestseller. But there's a good chance that, it may be different than that. So it will be a collector's item as this series grows. And it's a trilogy. It's a 3-part series. So it has a lot of growth in there.
Outstanding. So I definitely want as many people to be eligible to win this as possible. I think it'd be fantastic. And so I'll take care of the shipping, Lucky. I probably am going to add a little bonus treat to that as well from my household. So they'll get a book and some other random little thank you thing from BiggestRayRay as well. So And I'd have no idea what that's going to be yet. I might just send him Dawn in a package like, hey, you just earned a kid with a book. I can't give up my kid.
Dawn, you're such a good kid. I love
she is such a, I don't know how she's my spawn. I mean, she is just a sweet, loving little angel. And I don't say that because she's mine. But I'm being nice to you, Dawn. You shouldn't be upset about that.
Daddy.
Goofy kiddo.
I can't talk so well, Daddy.
I remember. So, but anyway, guys, so we're encroaching the 1 hour mark, Lucky.
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Before I go, I'm just going to just photobomb Chris again because that was
thanks, Chris.
Robo
Chris.
Oh, man, we got to figure out what's going on with that. Wave bye to everybody, Chris. At least that comes through okay. So thank you for being here to moderate comments today and do sharing on the back end. I appreciate you, buddy. So to everybody that's in the Ray Ray family, I literally say it every video. I love you guys. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate y'all being here. Stay positive. Now let's keep our head up through this crisis. I'm going to continue doing a daily live stream as long as the government asks us to stay at home to keep everybody safe. We got to do our part to flatten that curve. If you happen to be new to this channel, if this is your first time here, I would love to encourage you to join the Ray Ray family as well. All you got to do is smash that red subscribe button. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you get a pop-up every time I post a new video. And my mantra, be biggest. Be what makes somebody else's day great. Sometimes it's just a smile, it's a wave, it's holding the door open, or maybe just staying 6 feet back on your own without somebody having to ask you to when you're out getting the essentials right now. So thank you again, Chris. Thank you, Lucky. I appreciate you guys. And we will see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.